Hello and welcome to Some Dude Shed. And in the headlines today, Council bans daffodils over health and safety fears.
Motorist fined for causing cyclists to fall from bike despite not even touching her.
Razer headset saves gamer from a stray bullet.
And that's the news.
Oh, who wants to go first?
I don't care.
Guess I'll go first then. So, a council in England has banned daffodils from being planted near a play park.
And good golly, why would they do that?
Well, as it turns out, daffodils are a little bit poisonous.
What? Really?
Yeah. Those little pretty yellow flowers.
Are they the things that...
Represent that cancer charity?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
No, they're sunflowers? No, daffodils like the yellow and they got the wee cup on them almost.
Yes,
like,
that's right.
Yeah.
I'll find. I'll get a picture of one for you just so we know what plant we're talking about here.
I'm going to assume they're like poisonous to dogs or something.
No, they're actually poisonous. Daffodil is actually poisonous to pretty much anyone. They're not very safe to eat. But the thing is, they don't look very tasty, so I don't know why anybody would even think of eating them.
But they kind of risk somebody eating them.
I mean, yeah, okay, a dog might eat them because dogs are kind of stupid and they eat everything.
Children.
Yeah, even children.
Children are kind of stupid, yep.
So yeah, that's basically why daffodils are a little bit poisonous. They'll give you a pretty bad tummy ache, and I mean, like to the extent I think they could actually kill you if you eat like the whole thing. But I think most of the poison's in the bottom. It's in the bulb or the seed of the plant.
Right.
Are we talking poisonous as in like dead in 20 minutes or like really sick for a few days?
I think you'd be really sick for a few days.
Jesus.
And considering they shut the entire country down for something that could make you a little bit sick for a few days, then you know.
But why has this one council decided to do that? Because I'm sure if you go to many other councils' parks, you'll find daffodils.
Time we stop the scourge of the daffodils from the play parks of Britain. Well,
We're just going to be arse watering them. No, we need to get rid of these. What's the white stuff that's in those? You know what I mean? Have you ever picked one of them? And like you look at the bottom where you picked it from, and there's like you squeeze it and like white stuff comes out.
Is that not just like sap or something? Like tree sap, but small plant.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know anything about plants. But basically, the story is they had a play park inspection come around, and they were advised not to have daffodils in the area, as parts of the daffodil can be poisonous. It was brought to the attention of the council, who said no more daffodils would be planted, but those that were there already would be all right to stay.
Okay.
So this is literally just a non-news story then? Like they're going to stay, but we're not planting more?
No more.
But basically, it's something that's meant to just be there and look nice. And if you don't misuse it, as in eat it, you'll be fine. But it's kind of like a swing where if you miss, you're supposed to, play on that. And if you misuse that, like by ramming the seat in somebody's head and kill them.
Oh, you could definitely misuse bits of play park. And did you ever hear about?
But they're not banning that.
You know those little roundabouts, right? The little spinny things that you get in play parks.
Yes.
Yeah. So did you hear about the story about the kid who had his brainstem detached?
Yeah, because
he was. Yeah.
Yes.
They did this. Right. These kids were doing this thing with a moped. They're using a moped to make it go really, really spin around really, really quickly. And this kid sat in the middle of it, and
his eyes bulged.
He's obviously, I don't know, he obviously moved in the wrong way, and his brainstem detached from his brain.
So
it probably wasn't even attached in the first place.
So what you're saying is it can be something that just be there, and if it's used properly, as in the case of the flowers, just by looking at them, they look nice. Instead of eating them, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you misuse anything, it'll kill you.
Basically, the moral of the story is if something can happen, it probably will, especially when stupid people are involved.
So I assume that play park took away all of the merry-go-rounds?
Yeah, it's just flat now. It's nothing there.
Why?
It's just slightly soft floor.
Just wondering why they haven't done this across the nation.
So, moving on.
Who wrote this story, by the way?
This is from The Times. I know, it's pretty much a joke. It's pretty much a joke website. I might as well be reporting from The Onion or something.
Was this on a Sunday? The story came out?
It came out on Tuesday, April 5th.
Jesus, prime news time.
So it's not a fool's story. It's a real one.
Like, it's not really an action-packed story, is it?
No, it's not really.
It's just a lesson, and if you misuse anything, just bad things can happen.
Yeah, it's actually not a very interesting story. I just got it for the funny headline.
Like this audio mixer right beside me here. It's like it's perfect for adjusting audio levels to make sure we're not too loud like this. But
or it's like this power cable going into the laptop. It's good for keeping the laptop charged, but if I take it out and shove it into my mouth, bad things can happen.
Or if I treat this mixer as a urinal, then
bad things will happen.
I'm gonna have a bad time. But you see, you shouldn't even have to explain that.
When you french fry, when you shoot a pizza, you're gonna have a bad time.
Bad time.
Indeed.
Moving on.
So, Mr. Red, what's your story?
Motorist fined for causing cyclist to fall from bike despite not even touching her. Now, there's a video of this.
Uses mind powers today.
Oh, I'd love to see the video.
Don't know. Make me laugh.
Are you going to share it? Are you going to put it on the screen for our viewer? Well, that was wonderful.
Yes.
I don't know how the driver can be blamed. Where else could the car go?
Well,
it was a pretty small road.
A motorist has been fined causing a cyclist to fall from their bike even though no contact was actually made. Watch the footage of the incident. Well, we watched it. Paul Nigel Miley, 52, received a hefty fine of £1,008 for driving without due care or attention after helmet cam footage captured the incident in Ashbury St Ledger, Northamptonshire.
England.
In the clip recorded in June last year, 3 cyclists could be seen riding along a single track lane when Miley drives past in his Land Rover Defender. One rider shows at Miley to slow down, before the camera pans around to show another female cyclist falling off her bike, toppling into a ditch. Proved beyond doubt that Miley had shown no consideration for other road users. However, some people don't agree that the driver was necessarily to blame, arguing online that he'd given the cyclist enough room as he passed. One person commented, "Can't see what he did wrong. Looks like she fell over because her feet were attached to her pedals."
that is the best point because the article says she fell off her bike. She didn't. She fell over with her bike.
She's still on the bike, yeah?
Yeah, she's still on the bike. Her feet are actually still on the pedals as well. And she hasn't actually let go of the handlebars, strangely enough, to even stop herself from hitting the ground. Maybe she just needs to learn how to get off her bike. And another said, "Where's the offence? Honestly, struggling to see what he could have done differently." A third wrote, I think he could have slowed down a little bit more, but I wouldn't have blamed him for falling off. This world has gone mad. That poor driver." A fourth said the incident was laughable, while someone else said, "Honestly, someone has to be on foot."
It was hilarious.
Stepped onto the side and fallen into a ditch. It most certainly wouldn't have been the driver's fault. He left plenty of room.
Did anybody comment in favour of the cyclists?
Oh, I'm sure there was.
Just out of interest.
Well, PC Mo Alice Clark of Northamptonshire Police Safer Roads team said Miley initially pled not guilty to the offence, claiming he had driven extremely slowly past the group and was unable to move further across. The video evidence clearly showed that Miley had no consideration for the cyclists on that day, and when he appeared at the magistrate court, he changed his plea to guilty. His driving fell below the standard of competent and careful driver, which could have very easily ended in a tragic consequence, and I'm pleased the courts have dealt with the driver positively. They didn't. They gave him £1,000 fine. I wouldn't count that positive.
Why the idiot plead guilty?
Drivers should always try to give cyclists and other vulnerable road users at least 1.5 meters of space and pass slowly. In this instance on the road, that would not have been possible. On this occasion, the correct thing to do would have been to come to a stop to allow the cyclist to pass safely. It takes a couple of seconds and then everyone can continue their journey safely. Why don't the cyclist come to a stop and let him pass safely instead?
Exactly.
It's kind of hard to gauge the speed he was going from the video, in my opinion. Didn't look like he was going that fast, but then again, it might be different when you actually see it.
Because it's like a wide angle that would make it look as though he was going faster.
The woman does look like she's just fully attached to her bike and wasn't able to stop herself from falling.
Yeah.
I love how over the years the term driver turned into road user to try and include everybody. But if you're a road user, you should be paying fucking tax.
Are you saying are you saying they've altered the language to make it
more inclusive?
More inclusive.
You see a guy going down on the fucking unicycle next, and he's a road user.
Well, if he's on the road, he is.
Cyclists need registration plates.
I think at fault for pleading guilty. I don't know why. He's got a shit lawyer.
Yeah, he's probably been told to plead guilty.
Well, just plead guilty, be fine.
But the thing is, though, if they had found him guilty and he didn't plead guilty, he might have got a lot
more.
He would have got a lot worse. Probably actually would have got points on his license on top of that.
Well, you probably would have got points, but then you'd probably go and do one of them speed awareness courses. But then again, it wasn't breaking the speed limit.
No,
so
it was careless driving without due care.
Well, all I can say about cyclists on the road is I have come across several cyclists on the road, and I can say it's always their fault.
Yes,
every time.
Their fault?
Well, I've come across cyclists.
They have the original sin of being a cyclist.
Yeah, basically. Nobody needs to be a cyclist.
No, that just...
I mean, there are other slow road users out there. I've been stuck behind diggers and tractors, but they're fine. They're doing their job. Cyclists are just out there literally to annoy you.
No, it's the point is they're taxed, registered. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whereas cyclists, they bump into your car. Oh, sorry.
I think the thing that's also pretty amazing about it is one of them couldn't keep their balance, but the other two could. So
Hmm.
therefore, it's his fault.
I don't know what to say.
You don't even need to pass the test either to use the road as a cyclist.
And you don't need to have a registration on your bike, and you don't have to pay tax if you're using a bike.
Oh, they're just bastards.
So the moral of the story is, if you're a cyclist, stop.
Just buy a fucking car. Stop being a pussy. Electric one. Settle for an electric one if you must. But just don't buy a cyclist. Ride a bike.
Right. So moving on. That's enough ranting about cyclists, Mr. Black. What's your story?
Time for some action.
Oh.
Razer headset saves gamer from a stray bullet. So this happens in California. Here's a picture. You're sitting there. Lovely day. I'm going to get some light recreational gaming in. You put your Razer Kraken headset on and you're just hammering away, whatever you're playing. Solitaire, probably. And next thing, pew! A fucking bullet comes through the window, cracks you in the head.
You're just like, this game's so realistic, it's shooting at me.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, this headset got force feedback? What's going on here? Woo, I could feel the game. But yeah, this bullet actually struck the headset. And I mean,
Well, the photo will be on screen.
yeah, like if you're just looking at it, it's like it's the headband of the headset, you know? So that's like, I mean, 1 in a million chance.
It came in at the
Yeah.
perfect angle just to deflect.
That's pretty cool.
But I mean, where the hell did the bullet come from? It looked like it came from the back window, like of his house.
Where did the bullet come from? Was it no? I mean, like originally, was there a fight outside or an altercation?
I don't believe it actually says. It's just a random bullet.
Stray bullet came through the window in what looks to be a remarkable piece of good fortune.
Did they take Joe Biden's advice to shoot a shotgun in the air to scare off intruders?
I mean, it's California, I guess. I mean, stray bullet. That's all you need to know. It's like, oh, one of those again.
Oh,
You know?
The bullet went through my window, into my headset, bounced off the wall, and landed on my bed.
Do you wonder if it was the Crips of the Bloods?
If it wasn't for the headphones made with good quality, now
Razer?
starting to sound like an advert. It's like our headsets will deflect bullets. Like, yeah, this
You
sounds
probably
like
got a free
advertising.
headset from Razer after saying that.
Yeah, I was like, yo, have another one. Yeah, you know, fair enough.
We'll give you a full set.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll give you a better version of our headsets. But I would have been dead. I would have been a dead kid at the age of 18. I would even imagine all the pain that my family and friends would have been through. It came from a block away. It was a stray bullet. Someone had bad aim. Somebody with bad aim almost killed me while I was talking to my friends. Fuck, imagine that. So how's it going? Oh, not too bad. But you hear you're making shot on stream.
It's horrible.
It's not known why the bullet was fired, but as the Redditor points out, if they hadn't been wearing repeating again, the legends occurred in the city of Torrance, wherever that is.
All I know is it's in California.
Is that,
Police
is that where all the torrent sites are?
Torrance. Police reportedly removed the bullet after being called to the house. Don't worry, we'll get rid of it for you. You can just put it in the bin.
Okay. We'll
Can
get
you get
rid
this
of it.
bullet? Get it out of here, please. Okay. we'll
It's
send it to
over
you.
there!
There we
He's
go.
like standing
We'll
on a
ta-
chair in the corner of the room. Oh, get it.
Don't worry, we'll take care of this problem for you.
Should we get the house? Make sure there's no more bullets.
Don't worry,
right?
you won't be shot by this bullet again.
9mm round, supposedly blah, 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 blah. They keep repeating the same thing. Without seeing a filed police report, we can't be seriously sure the incident occurred as the red. Oh, okay. So this might be fake news, guys.
Oh,
Without seeing a filed police report,
Wait,
we
hold
can't
on a
be
minute.
entirely sure.
What news website are you reading that off?
TechRadar.com.
Oh, I thought it might have been CNN.
Oh,
oof, shots fired, guys.
crappy news networks. All right. But the pictures make a compelling case that the stray bullet was indeed fired through the window. You see, it could have easily been like a viral marketing thing. Like you can't put it past everyone these days.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying like the guy, okay, I'll wear this headset and you shoot me through the window. And it's more like, you know, I'll just set the headset here and I'll like shoot it. And then I'll shoot a hole through the window and I'll put the bullet on the bed. Like, you know, you could easily set this up.
Do you ever remember the story of the Marine in Iraq? His iPod saved him.
His iPod saved him.
His iPod saved him, yeah. It went through the plate in his jacket and then stopped in the iPod.
Flip.
Um,
Did you ever see the Game
but this
Boy?
this is the old iPods. Bearing in mind, this is the
The big fat one.
big block. Yeah, so I don't think a modern iPod would stop it. Like, but
The best one. I love the big fat. I had the iPod Classic, like the last ones that came out. They were great. I miss it. In fact, actually, not too long ago, I gave it to my granddad years ago, and he brought it over. Still has it. With the old crappy, the iPod connector, like the big wide fat thing. Anyway, I divulged.
The story reminds me of that scene in Blackadder where he gets shot by the Duke of Wellington with a cannon. He gets stopped by a cigarette box. But moving on.
No, do you remember? Have you ever seen the Game Boy as well?
The old Game Boy.
It's like the old original Game Boy, but it got saved by an IED blast it was caught in, but it survived. Burnt to a crisp, but it still
IED
works.
blast?
Yeah, survived an IED.
Wow.
It's in a museum somewhere.
did the person who had it, did he survive?
I don't know.
The kid dies, but his saved game lives on.
That's the best we could all hope for.
Well, the Game Boy's in one piece anyway, and I can't say the same about him. Tech Radar confirmed Razer reached out to Redditor to check out if they were okay, offered him a replacement headset alongside other goodies. Other goodies? We contacted Torrance Police Department, which told us it was checking if it had reports of the incident. We'll let you know if we receive any update. And this was written on 3 days ago.
Tuesday.
I call bullshit.
Was he just looking for a free headset?
Yeah, like it's
Did he just
wearing out.
Did he just take the headset outside, pop one on it, and then pretend it came through the window?
Well, as I said the other day, I'm
was the
looking
window
for-
smashed?
Yeah,
Or-
there's a bullet hole in the window.
all right. It just happened to be the window was open.
But you don't know. Like, you don't know if he did it himself or, you know what I mean? But as I was saying to you the other day, I'm looking for a new headset. So if I just shoot mine and go, oh, saved by a headset, contact Logitech, not sponsored.
Or you can borrow my bow and arrow.
Just an arrow sticking out of the earpiece.
Yeah.
Uh,
Logitech, I'm sorry, I lost my headset in a stray arrow incident and stuck to the wall. Can you send me a new one?
Some Dude Shed does not endorse the use of firearms to claim new headsets of companies. Please do not do this.
I
Disclaimer.
say nothing about bows and arrows though, so that's okay.
anyway, that's it, isn't it?
I guess
That's
so.
it.
I think that's the news.
That's the news for today.
Sweet.
It's been a slow news day. It's not like there's been a lot of action going on in the world.
Somewhere in is there not somewhere in like Eastern Europe somewhere?
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to point to it.
Probably.
Who knows? Anyway, till next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.